Find out what's happening on the NDSU campus? Watch Bison Information Network. To find out what's happening on the NDSU campus? Watch Bison Information Network News every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on Cable 1 Channel 70. This student-run weekly newscast covers relevant news and current events, entertainment, Bison sports, and more. Watch BIN News Fridays at 9 p.m., Saturdays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., and Sundays at 9 a.m. on Cable 1 Channel 70.
Bison Information Network News is brought to you in partnership with Cable 1.
Welcome to Bison Information Network News. I'm Heather Vikre. A Fargo man will serve more than a decade in prison in connection with the death of an acquaintance during a fight in March. Daniel Habiger was originally charged with murder and was sentenced to 17 years in prison, but after a mental health evaluation, the sentence was reduced to 14 years in prison and 3 years of supervised probation. According to court documents, Habiger called 911 from a gas station near his apartment after the fight, noting that the victim, Jared Hayes, was still moving. Habiger told investigators he choked Hayes out after he threatened him and his family. Habiger has been given credit for the 259 days he has already spent in jail. A bill named after slain Savannah LaFontaine Greywind has been approved by the U.S. Senate Committee. The Savannah Act aims at addressing the increasing number of missing and murdered Indigenous women across the country. The measure would expand tribal access to federal crime databases, as well as establish protocols for handling cases for missing Indigenous women. The bill, sponsored by Senator Heidi Heitkamp, who lost her bid for re-election, still faces scrutiny by the full Senate before it can be passed. The first wave of Central American migrants from the group that formed last month have now reached the U.S.-Mexico border, many with the goal of crossing into the U.S. now literally within sight. But the Trump administration's stance hasn't changed. John Lornick reports.
About 100 migrant men, women, and children are now in Tijuana, where they wait at a shelter, hoping to cross into the U.S. for a better future. They are the first of a much larger group to reach the border.
That they can give their kids an education, that they can actually be free from violence and rape and murder. And it sounds extreme, but that's exactly what's going on here.
Some of the migrants traveled more than 2,000 miles, but the Trump administration hasn't budged an inch, assigning 5,900 troops to the border region, according to one defense official.
No nation can allow its borders to be overrun, and that's an invasion.
2 members of the administration will visit parts of the Texas border Wednesday. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen will tour with the Northern Command. Defense Secretary James Mattis will be in McAllen, taking note of expenses.
We'll update you on costs as they become known. Obviously, the units executing the border mission have got to report them in up here, but we are capturing the cost.
Critics of the White House say having troops on the border because of the migrants is a mistake.
Using our troops as political pawns for his political interests is just wrong.
I am not really interested in the politics. I'm interested in how we as people can learn to embrace the immigrant.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Aid groups say the remaining members of the caravan are still more than 1,000 miles away from the U.S. border. This past Wednesday was World Diabetes Day, and NDSU graduate students have put together an invention that will make it easier to detect if a person has diabetes. It's called the Diabetes Breathalyzer, and it works in the same way that a normal breathalyzer does. The device is not meant to be a replacement for blood testing, but it's a less invasive way to determine if preventative measures or further testing is needed. The device was first created by NDSU researcher Dan Ling Wong, who started working on it while getting her doctorate at the University of Washington. And now we'll take it to Jay Lenander for our weekend weather update. Jay?
Thanks, Heather. So for this past couple days, it's been snowing. Snow is officially on the ground and winter is in full force. However, it did cool down a little bit today in terms of the snow. No snow taking place on Friday with a high of 22 and a low of 8. Humidity was a little bit high at 78%, and of course wind speeds were high as usual at 18 miles per hour. Now taking a look at our upcoming week, we can see that partly cloudy days are going to be mostly the usual, with Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. The whole week is basically just going to be partly cloudy days. And then getting into the holiday season in terms of Thanksgiving, we can see that Thanksgiving will be the warmest day of the week with a high of 41 degrees, and even Black Friday should have pretty mild temperatures in order to stand outside and have your Black Friday experience. Back to you at the desk.
Coming up, CNN is suing the Trump administration. The California wildfires are getting worse, and we'll have this week's Health Minute when we come back.
Conveniently located across the street from NDSU's campus, Herd & Horns is the place to go whether you're looking for a fantastic meal or just a quick bite to eat.
Hi, welcome to Herd & Horns. Are you from the drink right away?
With friendly staff and excellent service, it's a restaurant for all ages. Herd & Horns, your home for great food. Welcome to Bison Block. If you are an NDSU student, you know it well. It's located right across the street from campus. How would you like to live in the same building as Starbucks, Jimmy John's, and Herd & Horns? Bison Block offers high-quality apartments at a very affordable price. For more information, go to our website at bisonblockfargo.com to apply today.
CNN's Jim Acosta has returned to his position at the White House following a court ruling that forced the Trump administration to reinstate his press pass. President Trump is now vowing to make rules and regulations for how White House reporters must act. This suit alleged that CNN and Acosta's First and Fifth Amendment rights were violated by last week's suspension of his press pass. Today's ruling by a federal judge, Timothy J. Kelly, was a victory for CNN in its lawsuit against the White House. Today marks 1 week since the Camp and Woolsey fires began burning in Southern California, and some people are finally allowed back in their neighborhoods. In Northern California, the Butte County Sheriff's Office will begin taking DNA samples from people who are missing a family member. It's all part of the task of locating more than 100 people still unaccounted for. Omar Jimenez reports.
Fire crews are making progress on the multiple wildfires burning up and down the state of California, but the death toll keeps rising. Specifically in the Camp Fire, more remains were found, and it is already the deadliest and most destructive fire this state has ever seen. As firefighters take control of the Woolsey and Camp Fires in California, many people remain missing.
There are a lot of people that want some answers. They are depending on us to find their loved one.
The National Guard is assisting in the search, sifting through debris and turning over rubble, looking for bodies. The grim task is taking its toll on crews.
Everybody that's involved here has an emotional connection to this. A lot of the people that are from this community have directly been impacted by either losing their home or know somebody that lost their home.
The majority of the missing are from Paradise, a Northern California town all but wiped from the face of the earth.
We went all over town yesterday and we did not see any neighborhood that wasn't devastated.
The mayor of Paradise says they were not prepared for the fire's speed.
The winds were so strong, it was blowing embers 1 to 2 miles. The fire chief told me that. It was just blowing in 2 miles at a time. We had no time at all, maybe 5 minutes.
Still, she is confident they will rise from the ashes.
We're gonna come back, we're gonna rebuild, we're gonna make Paradise Paradise again.
With 3 major wildfires ravaging Southern California, many people are wondering what they can do to help. Some of the many ways that you can help is by donating money and blood, as well as making donations to help animals that have been abandoned by their families. If you would like to help donate to the firefighters that are battling the fire at the front lines, there's a GoFundMe page set up where you can donate to a specific department. If interested in helping, visit www.gofundme.com/cause/California Fires for more information. November is National Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and that's a time for everyone to play a part and make a difference for the hundreds of thousands of people who are diagnosed or die from the disease each year. Kim Hutcherson has more in today's Health Minute.
November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, a time to bring attention to the more than 200,000 people in the U.S. who are diagnosed with lung cancer each year, and a reminder that more than 150,000 people die from this disease yearly. Despite what many people might think, those cases are not limited to smokers. The CDC says about 80 to 90% of lung cancers are connected to cigarette smoking. Other known risk factors include exposure to secondhand smoke, a family history of the disease, and exposure to certain air pollutants like asbestos, arsenic, radon, even diesel fumes. If diagnosed early, lung cancer is actually highly curable, but only about 16% of cases are caught at stage 1. Doctors hope that raising awareness of lung cancer, along with advances in screening, will lead to fewer late-stage diagnoses. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
A superhero legend is dead, fake charities in North Dakota, and a famous baseball player's retirement. That and more after the break.
The TLMC offers a variety of services for NDSU students and instructors. Class project support is one of the key ways in which the TLMC serves faculty. Technology-intensive projects can provide students with an opportunity for creative expression, enhanced communication, and the development of digital media literacy skills that will benefit them in class, college, and beyond. We realize that there are obstacles and challenges to assigning technology-rich projects, and the TLMC is here to help by serving as a bridge between instructors, students, and the technology. We can help with project planning, identifying student learning and support needs, and developing, coordinating, and delivering project-specific support. Our services include hands-on workshops for your students, scheduled during or outside of class time. Individual and group assistance is always available for students on a walk-in basis at the TLMC lab. With access to a variety of multimedia software and hardware, students can store and work on their audio-video projects over time. Workstations may be reserved or used on a walk-in basis. Other learning resources include project-specific learning links on the TLMC website, our learning resource library, and a lynda.com learning kiosk. The TLMC Media Studio features space and equipment for video recording, studio photography, audio recording, and screen capture. Students, faculty, and staff can make appointments to use the studio and to get help in producing, editing, and publishing their media works. Additional studio resources are also available at Berry Hall. Please contact us if you would like to take a tour of our facilities or visit with us about a project that you have in mind.
The Costco warehouse is off to an early start in the giving season, donating $36,000 to Children's Miracle Network. On Tuesday, Costco employees presented the check to the hospital along with 6-year-old patient Noah Schaefer, who is battling a rare life-threatening disease known as HLH. Costco has been donating to the Children's Miracle Network over the last 6 years and have raised nearly $160,000 to help pay for medical bills of its young patients. Stan Lee, known by many as the superhero of comics, died this past Monday. The comic creator is known best for his signature series, The Fantastic Four and The Amazing Spider-Man. He died at the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles after being rushed there earlier in the day for a medical emergency. Although known famous for his comics, Lee made a big impact in the world of film, helping to produce a number of recent Marvel films, such as the newest Spider-Man movie and The Black Panther. Since his death, many Marvel actors and fans have expressed gratitude for his work. If you're looking to help out local charities through donation this year, there are a lot to choose from. But before you spend your money anywhere in the North Dakota Attorney General's office suggests you do some research. Some fake charities you should be aware of are the American Cancer Society of North Dakota, the American Cancer Society of Bismarck, and the American Cancer Society for Children of North Dakota. These so-called organizations have recently been deemed scams and are not registered with the North Dakota Secretary of State. If you are questioning a charity's legitimacy, you can contact the state's Consumer Protection Division at 701-328-3404. Longtime Minnesota Twin Joe Mauer officially announced his retirement from Major League Baseball in a press conference Monday. The Twins drafted Mauer #1 overall out of high school in 2001, and he has played 15 total seasons with the team. The 35-year-old's contract with the Twins expired at the end of the 2018 season, and he decided to retire primarily because of health reasons. Mauer will now shift his main focus away from the diamond and towards being a father of 2 with a third on the way. After the break, Eric will have our sports update. What do you have for us, Eric?
Well, we'll take a look at that big NDSU win, clinching their 8th straight Missouri Valley Conference title. And we'll also take a look at Bison men's and women's basketball. That and more when we come back.
Conveniently located across the street from NDSU's campus, Herd & Horns is the place to go, whether you're looking for a fantastic meal or just a quick bite to eat.
Hi, welcome to Herd & Horns. Are you from the Vikre area?
With friendly staff and excellent service, it's a restaurant for all ages. Herd & Horns, your home for great food and Bison sports. Welcome to Bison Block. If you are an NDSU student, you know it well. It's located right across the street from campus. How would you like to live in the same building as Starbucks, Jimmy John's, and Herd & Horns? Bison Block offers high-quality apartments at a very affordable price. For more information, go to our website at bisonblockfargo.com to apply today.
The North Dakota State football team hit the road for one final time this season to take on the Bears of Missouri State. With a win, they would claim the outright Missouri Valley Conference title. So there you see Easton Stick, the record-breaking quarterback, looking for win number 44. Needs 5 wins to break the record. And you see him right there dropping back. His Dallas Freeman for a 29-yard touchdown pass as the Bison take an early lead 7-0. Stick on the very ensuing drive finds Ellison for another 29-yard touchdown pass. Bison lead 13-0 as extra point failed. Stick dropping back to pass yet again as he finds Brock Jensen right up the middle on a go route. The Bison lead 20-0 at the end of the first quarter. Later on in the second quarter, in the first quarter, just in the beginning of the second quarter, Easton Stick finds Ben Ellison for a 5-yard touchdown pass. The Bison lead 27-0. They would take a 27-0 lead into the halftime. And you see Adam Cofield finding the end zone for a 14-yard touchdown run. The Bison went on to win 48-7. Easton Stick 15-24, 238 yards, 5 touchdowns. Second interception of the season. Adam Cofield finally having himself a day, 12 carries, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The last time the Salukis and the Bison met up, Easton Stick was starting his second collegiate game. The Salukis come into the game scoring 31 points. The Bison have only allowed one team to put up more than 30 points throughout the season. The Salukis are giving up 208 yards on the ground. The Bison are looking to continue their success on the ground. Head coach Chris Kleiman knows that this team can put up points in a hurry.
Just say, well, they can only beat you throwing the football, or they only can beat you running the football. I'm really impressed with their wide receiver group. They're really talented. They're long, athletic guys that can run. They've got a power back. They've got a change of pace back. They've made an adjustment at quarterback, and he does a little bit of everything.
It is senior day for the Bison, and they have the opportunity to do something special, and that is be the first Bison team to go undefeated since the 2013 squad. This game can be seen on NBC North Dakota with kickoff at 2:30 p.m. After dropping their season opener, the North Dakota State men's basketball team returned home for their home opener. The Bison look to win their home opener for the 15th consecutive season and the 3rd straight time since the new arena opened. Pick it up right away in the first half. You see the Bison team welcoming home them. Tyson Ward, he gets a steal here. He's going to take it coast to coast, and he gets the lay-in. The Bison, however, trailed 10-6 early on. Later on in the first half, Jordan Horn dishes to Tyson Ward. As the Bison go up 19-15 with just over 8 minutes left in the first half. Later on, Tyson Ward very excited. Later on, Horn finds Dangu, and Dangu does what he does best, and he jams it home with the big old flush. The Bison are up 33-25 with just over a minute and a half left in the first and the second half. Dangu drives to the bucket, and he gets the easy score. Bison up 77-56 with 3:05 remaining. NDSU would go on to win that game 82-63. Both teams are 1-1 on the season.
Bison basketball win, and what I mean by that, we defended. We took care of the ball. We certainly could have done a little bit better job. They got us by 1 on the glass. But 2 staples of our program, valuing the basketball and defending, and we did that at a high level against a very good offensive team.
The NDSU men's basketball team, as I just mentioned, won 82-63. Tyson Ward had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Dangu also had 16 points and 6 rebounds. Taking on to the NDSU women's side, Emily Dietz cleans up the miss from Riley Newdell. NDSU goes up 2-0 early on. Later on in the first quarter, Emily Newdell finds Dietz yet again for the short jumper. Bison are up 4 early on. Riley Newdell finally gets her mid-range jumper to fall. The Bison trail 10-6. Later on in the first quarter, Emily Dietz drops her defender, and Spencer drops her defender and to find Dietz for 3. Bison trail 9-10. At halftime, NDSU would trail UNH New Hampshire 27-23. Later on in the third quarter, Michelle Geislerova is found by Maria Fernandez, one of her 4 straight in the quarter. Bison down 1. Later on in the fourth quarter, Caroline Susi, she picks off Geislerova and drives to the bucket for 2. The Hampshires
that we experienced in the game today, and we did it. You know, no bigs, short numbers, foul trouble, you name it, we hit it. And what I'm very proud of our players for doing is turning inward to themselves, to each other, to find a way to be successful.
The Bison get their second win of the young season as they win 56-51. Michelle Geislerova led the way with 16 points and 5 rebounds. Next up, the Bison will travel to Wisconsin on Saturday for a tip at 12 p.m. at the Kohl Center. After defeating Oral Roberts on Friday night, the North Dakota State volleyball team headed to South Dakota to have an opportunity to clinch a spot in the Summit League tournament. The Bison were unable to get the victory as they were swept 3-0. Allie Murphy paced the Bison with 7 kills, while Allie Close led the Bison on the defensive side with 21 digs. The Bison do advance to the tournament as the 6th seed, however. The Summit League volleyball tournament kicks off on Friday night in Denver, Colorado, with the number 4 seed Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons taking on the 5 seed, the Fighting Hawks of North Dakota. That match is scheduled to set at 4 p.m. Central Time, and the winner will face top-seeded Denver on Saturday at 4 p.m. Second match has 3-seeded Omaha Mavericks taking on the 6-seeded Bison of North Dakota State. The winner of the match will take on the South Dakota Coyotes on Saturday at 7 p.m. The championship match is scheduled for 3 p.m. on Sunday and can be seen on ESPN3. The winner will receive the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. The 48th Bison Open was held over this past weekend. There were a total of 8 teams competing in the tournament, including 3 ranked teams. 11th ranked Arizona State took 7 out of 10 weight classes. Jesse Shearer and Michael Otomo placed second in the 174 and 184 pound weight classes, respectively. Dan Streibel, McGuire McGiff, and TJ Pottinger finished the third in the 285, 133, and 184 weight pound class, respectively. The Bison will now travel out west to take on Fresno State on Friday at 9 p.m. Then they will compete in the Roadrunner Open at CSU Bakersfield on Sunday. And a reminder to all Bison fans that the FCS bracket comes out on Sunday at 11:30. Bison projected to be the number 1 seed unless the Salukis can pull off the upset. But as of now, Bison the 1 seed.
All right, thank you, Eric. Stay with us after the break for this week's Bison on the Street.
The TLMC offers a variety of services for NDSU students and instructors. Class project support is one of the key ways in which the TLMC serves faculty. Technology-intensive projects can provide students with an opportunity for creative expression, enhanced communication, and the development of digital media literacy skills that will benefit them in class, college, and beyond. We realize that there are obstacles and challenges to assigning technology-rich projects, and the TLMC is here to help by serving as a bridge between instructors, students, and the technology. We can help with project planning, identifying student learning and support needs, and developing, coordinating, and delivering project-specific support. Our services include hands-on workshops for your students, scheduled during or outside of class time. Individual and group assistance is always available for students on a walk-in basis at the TLMC lab. With access to a variety of multimedia software and hardware, students can store and work on their audio-video projects over time. Workstations may be reserved or used on a walk-in basis. Other learning resources include project-specific learning links on the TLMC website, our Learning Resource Library, and a lynda.com learning kiosk. The TLMC Media Studio features space and equipment for video recording, studio photography, audio recording, and screen capture. Students, faculty, and staff can make appointments to use the studio and to get help in producing, editing, and publishing their media works. Additional studio resources are also available at Berry Hall. Please contact us if you would like to take a tour of our facilities or visit with us about a project that you have in mind.
With Thanksgiving coming up next week, students at NDSU are getting ready to go home and spend the holidays with their families. Bison Information Network reporter Joe Thompson went out to ask students what their favorite part of Thanksgiving is in this week's Bison on the Street.
Getting together with the family.
My favorite part would probably be going home and seeing my family.
My favorite part would be probably coming home and seeing friends and family, I'd say.
My favorite thing is getting to go home and hang out with my family and see my extended family.
Seeing the family. Probably the best part about Thanksgiving, getting to socialize and talk about the year that I haven't seen them very much.
Probably just like getting around with like my family, getting time off school, watching a lot of Netflix, eating food.
Definitely the food. I love the food.
Stuffing.
Let's take one last look at the weather for the upcoming week. It will be cold, but most days will be snowless and partly cloudy, with temperatures averaging in the low 20s. Thanksgiving will be the warmest day of the week, with temperatures reaching as high as 40 degrees. If you are planning on standing in lines for Black Friday, it won't be too bad, with a high of 34 and relatively low wind speeds. Thank you for watching this edition of Bison Information Network News.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and our Binstagram.
And have a great night and a safe Thanksgiving.